I'm John Honeycutt, a doctoral student in the School of Behavioral Sciences at Liberty University. Today we'll be looking at a proposed pilot program for reframing aging out towards aging in with confident and ready adults from the youth foster system. The basis of this comes from Scripture, the aging out imperative, and a levels of explanation view from David G. Myers. Following these, we'll look at some potential challenges both from an IO psychology standpoint, the DHS system itself, and the youth participants, 7 who are called from a church to work with a given youth, and then we'll look at the big picture. The scriptural basis comes from James and later in this presentation from Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. If a brother or sister is ill-clad and in lack of daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and filled," without giving them the things needed for the body, what does it profit? So faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. Now, each year, approximately 23,000 youth exit from the foster system because of turning 18 and aging out. Of these, 4,000 will become instantly homeless. Of the 23,000, only about 700 will ever earn a college degree in their lifetime. 8,400 will become pregnant by age 21. Many will continue suffering from PTSD and other mental health struggles. 11,000 will not have gainful employment by age 24, and all of these youth deserve better. I've drawn a view from a text called Psychology and Christianity, 5 Views. This was edited by Eric L. Johnson, and the view that I've taken that joins together the notion of faith from the Christian faith and psychology was drawn from David G. Myers. It's called a levels of explanation view. In that chapter, Myers takes a matrix with 7 items to ways to relate faith, the Christian faith, and psychology that are listed here. 5 of these directly apply to the program that I'm proposing. Myers' view points out that psychology is motivated by science and Christian psychology, faith. And so also this is a mandate for skeptical scrutiny, both from the church and from psychology itself. Because this is Christian-based, it's rooted in our faith and values. And in this instance, because there will be 7 who are called from a given church to be joined together with a selected youth who has volunteered and agreed, it's giving psychology to the church and taking a look at human nature. Industrial and organizational psychology can be broken into the industrial and the organizational components. The I piece tends to work with employee life cycle, whereas the organizational piece is consultative. One aspect of the industrial piece is retention, which may be an issue in this particular proposed program. From 20 to 40% of the DHS workers today, a great many of them will not be there at the end of the year. From an organizational perspective, facilitation between the youth who agree and volunteer to be part of this program, along with the DHS workers and the 7 who are called and an advocacy team to be assigned with that youth will be required. The items drawn from Myers reworded into action items for this effort. To employ sound research and evaluation, there's 4 items that are being proposed for measurement. This certainly challenges the status quo, and those involved will be light. Lay leaders will need to be included beyond just the pastor of a given church to be part of the 7 who are called. and training will be required for the youth, for the DHS workers, and for the church volunteers. From a big picture, this program suggests to start earlier, at least 6 months in advance of the youth aging out. Creation of transition plans that are deeply requiring the involvement from the youth. The 4 pieces that would be measured 12 months after the aging out include these items. Now, there are a whole swath of other transition plans that could and should be in place, but these are not part of the program to be measured. Advocacy packs are between the 7 who are called and the youth who has volunteered to be part of the program. An advocacy pack has each of the members with different strengths and gifts. From 1 Corinthians, there are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. So each of the 7 will have different skill sets, capabilities, and gifts. During the 12 months following the youth aging out, there will be a variety of mentorship and care given to that youth for the purpose of them aging into a capable and ready adult. The big picture is to start earlier, at least 6 months prior to the aging out. The building of transition plans, and key also are the 7 who are called with an advocacy pact with the youth. The DHS staff turnover in particular may pose a confound, and research is fundamental to this to provide a contrast between those who are in the program versus the 23,000 that are generally measured with the statistics shown at the beginning of this presentation. Hopefully, a result of this effort will be so that instead of go in peace, be warmed and filled, we'll be able to say welcome, be warmed and filled. Thank you for taking time with me. Later, I'll welcome your advice on how to better propose the design methods and measurements of this proposed effort.